Well, wherever you're joining us from, welcome to Mar del Plata. Dominican Republic in the darker blue uniform will have the first possession. Ball's in the hands of Andreas Feliz. Feliz gets it into the half court. Delgado will hand it off. Liz gets to the lane, off the glass for two. Nice finish. Controlled, real purpose in the set. Campazzo down the lane, off the glass, gets it blocked. Chance to run. The Dominican Republic and score in a hurry. Great pass for the two. Eloy Vargas ran the floor, got rewarded. Vitola is off with a three. It's a big commitment to make the long flight. Time difference and everything else may be an issue for Deck and Vitola, but travel isn't the issue, just the time difference. You only have to be minimally off. Defensive rebound is collected. Deck and kicks. Extra pass, the wide open three is good. And you knew that was going to happen. What a noise when Leprovitola's three played little string music as it dropped. They're going to go inside if they can. Ball gets an inside touch. The inside-outside for three is good. And Andres Feliz not phased by the noise here. Leprovitola gets to the foul line, in the lane, looks to make the pass to Delia, who gets fouled, will go to the free throw line. Marcos Delia plying his trade in Lithuania. Here's the inside-outside play. And Andreas Feliz just knocks down the three. Nice start from the Dominican Republic. Needed to come out positively. Did not want to dig a hole early in this one. That's the other thing that could happen to Argentina here, the expectation, the crowd. There's a lot of experience on the floor, but the pressure of home crowd expectation. Delia's free throw looked a little hesitant, shall we say. The three is short, chance to run. Campazzo looks to push, looks long. Deck just about hangs on. Oh, nice pass, easy two. And that'll settle down Marcos Delia. Deck did so well to hang on to the pass. Eloy Vargas out top, puts it on the floor, goes with the left hand to the middle. Wants to foul, but looks a bit out of control. Numbers down the floor for Argentina. Campazzo with a nice looking pass. The ball movement. You've seen it down the lane as it knocks away. No foul that way either. Referee's letting them play a little bit. Foul by Vitola. And I know they're asking, you can see why they're asking. They're going to have a look. I don't think Delgado has to tell them to do that. That's the Garcia making the sixth man on the floor. Let's take a look. Vitola will say that he made a play at the basketball, but how legitimate was that play at the basketball? The one thing it says is no one's getting anything easy. They're going to have to take a look. Without getting too into the technicality either, it's got to be a legitimate attempt to play the basketball. The only other issue would be, was it excessive in contact? And it's not that. Yeah, I can understand why they think this is not a legitimate attempt to play the basketball. It should be an unsportsmanlike foul. The crowd will go crazy if they call it unsportsmanlike, but I don't think that's going to faze the referees. Let's take a look. They're just going to call it as an ordinary foul. That sets the tone then for what is and what isn't allowable. Delgado step up, make 2 free throws, and then they'll forget about it until the next hard foul in transition. Delgado. Averages a double-double across these World Cup qualifiers, 11 and 11. There's a bump off the ball. Campazzo went down the lane, got told in no uncertain terms by Eloy Vargas that that was his area. Just bumped it hard. Every single time they're going to take a 3 and knock it down, or take a shot and knock it down, this crowd is going to just go with it. Ties at 8. Campazzo with the 3. Some Republic have to come out of that weave set because of the hard show. Great job by Delgado. Oh, beautiful little pass. And Vargas stayed with it to make sure the 2 was down. Campazzo will bring it out. Brusino will have a look and restart. Laprovitola off the glass is blocked. Delgado already having an effect on the Dominican Republic, slowly off each other. Brusino for 3 is long. Chance to run for Félix, and he pushes. And they will push at every opportunity. Foul line for Delgado, doesn't like the jump shot option. Delgado in the lane, mishandles. And Argentina off to the races. Campazzo is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Nice little pass from Angel Delgado. Substitution coming in for the Dominican Republic. Antonio Pena. Pena checks in. Facundo Campazzo on the free throw line. Well, he had the stint in the NBA, now back in Europe at Shenda Zvezda in Belgrade. Really announced himself, if that's the right word, at the World Cup in Spain, and answered all those questions. Was he going to be able? Was he big enough? Was he able to cope with the top level? And obviously the answer is yes. Had a great loan spell in the ACB before returning to Real Madrid. Perez, again, it's almost a double team as opposed to just a hard show. And Didi does a great job getting back, blocking foul. Antonio Pena. Had 15 points in the win for the Dominican Republic over Argentina. Nesta Garcia doesn't walk the sideline, he prowls the sideline. Campazzo in the lane. Castillo gets a little hook away, can't get it to go. Delgado will hand off. In the lane. Wheels and deals, gets the drop, and one. That got Delgado. Just watch him work here. Steps through, goes again with a second move. Draws the contact, gets the drop. Only 2.5 meters at that power forward spot, but he's quick. I think they're going to say that he chased his free throw before it hit the ring. Well, 4:24 to go in the first quarter. Dominican Republic will be comfortable and happy that they've got this game underway and we've been solid. They lead this 12-9. Campazzo, beautiful look, great hands by Deck. Even if he wasn't expecting it, just extended the right arm, took the pass in the one hand and finished. The pass was there in a moment. That's a super feed. Rosino's going to be charged with a push off the ball. You're going to get a great angle on this. Look, there's that right hand, just got it behind the ball. Gets the little blow of a kiss from Campazzo. Last 4 minutes of the first. Delgado, again, getting able to work. Wants a little space to play. Great read. That's a super read. Facundo Campazzo for two. Just took off when he read the pass. Got a little static, Dominican Republic. Liz steps through, can't get that to go. Little momentum building here for Argentina. Rosino stops and pops the three and fills it up. Seven unanswered points for Argentina. Important possession to take a little bit of emotion out of this one. Solano is going to go the other way. Campazzo with the finish off the great defensive play. And Brusino says, hey, you're not going to guard me. Nothing but string. And Dominican Republic and Nesta Garcia will take the timeout. Campazzo will advance the basketball. Elvis Solano in the game for the Dominican Republic, all over him at the moment. Deck, quickness on the pass. Bomaro in the game. Deck in the lane for two, gets it to go. So much offensive firepower on this Argentinian team. They can go to any spot and have real offensive threat. Suero goes up for two, much needed as Guerrero. Suero gets the two. So needed those points. Campazzo in the lane. Ball's knocked away. Listen to this. Carlos Delfino checks in. Ball goes out of bounds off the inbound. Deck couldn't quite get his hands over that one. Carlos Delfino, as we said before the game, 40 years old now. 25 years he's been representing Argentina from under 16. That'll be a Dominican Republic ball. Got a bronze medal in the 2001 World Championships for under 21s. And obviously, gold and bronze medals at the Olympics. Stops and pops the two is no good for Solano. Deck pushes and quickly, nice pass. And Delia gets really rewarded for running the floor. Get down the floor, get your hands up, you'll get found. Coach Nesta Garcia just talked about the defense and transition in the timeout, and they just got outworked. Tough one on the foul line is good. Montero is, let's just say, super quick. One of those instant offense guys. Deck's going to set the ball screen. Campazzo steps behind it for three. Foul away from the basketball. And Marcos Delia is going to be charged with the personal. Bulmaro is also in the States with Utah, but also in the G League with the Salt Lake City Stars. Just another great offensive talent. Solano outside the three-point line. Wants a little space to play. Campazzo's going to gap him. Gets beat down the middle. No, nice kick. Open three is good. Super kick by Solano. Suero can score. There's no doubt. Nice job on the inside, though. Gabriel Deck goes to work. Last 30 seconds of what's been a fascinating first quarter. People just feeling each other out a little bit. Montero has it knocked away. Ball will stay with the Dominican Republic with 8 on the possession. Got Izzy in the game. They're going to call the offensive foul. Both teams in the penalty, but obviously a team control foul does not result in shots. Kundo Campazzo in the half court, trying to hold for the last shot. There's literally less than a second differential between game and shot clock. Deck's going to set the screen. He'll try and post. Gets it inside. Foul on the play. Galvez Solano picks up the personal. Gabriel Deck will go to the free throw line. 2 for 2 from the line. 5.9 seconds for the Dominican Republic to try and get something at the end of this first quarter. Deck will sit for the 5.9 seconds. The three is away in time. It's nothing. And that'll do it for the first quarter. And after a little tentative start, Argentina really did click into gear. They lead it 24-19 at the end of the first. Well, numbers-wise, both teams shooting the ball pretty well. 50 and 55 and 67 from 2 and 50. The 33% from the free throw line is a little misleading with 1 from 3, not really a factor. Let's take a look at the best plays of that first quarter. Nice start by the Dominican Republic. Got out and ran. Get some easy looks early, settled into it. Once Argentina picked their defense up, Dominican Republic, if they got static with the basketball, had some issues. That little 7-0 run. Just over halfway through the first quarter. When it comes down, when it does slow down, Argentina will be in the passing lanes. A number of steals, Campazzo and Leprovitola came up with steals that led to points. Multiple changes across both rosters. Leprovitola checks in. Takes over the ball from Campazzo. Great offense, great rebound. That's a super rebound by Galizzi. Leprovitola on the side, goes into Galizzi off the glass. He'll have to go to the free throw line. Earned that one with the offensive rebound. Super job. To check back Galizzi on the free throw line. Great work on the glass. Delfino gets his first 2 points of the game. And Argentina extend the defense. They're going to make people work the whole time. Gilbert Solano into the half court. Guerrero hands it off. Comes back to Solano. Looks to attack the drive, doesn't get the drive lane taken away. The open three is long. Defensive rebound for Leprovitola. He'll push. Stops, fires up the three, is long. Gang, excellent work on the offensive glass by Argentina. Putting bodies in with a chance to rebound. Whistle on the play. They're going to call that offensive. I don't think they made contact. It's a tough call. It looked like it was going to be an offensive foul. I don't actually think the foul happened in the end. Delgado checks back in. Dangerous moments, 8-point game. You don't want this game to get out of hand early. You want to keep it tight, hopefully keep it single digits, give yourself a chance come the fourth quarter. Whistle, and again, the consistency is good. This is the officials. Again, call the offensive foul. Once you know it's consistent, it's going to be called that way. Got to make the adjustment as a player. As he picks up the personal. Velez moves it on. Guerrero gets it back to him. This is where they get a little static. The whole pace goes out of it and someone has to make a play. Great job, though. Velez goes to the work, getting to the backboard, gets the drop. But at the moment, as Velez makes the three throw, everything's got a little slower for the Dominican Republic, which means it really does put emphasis on an individual making the play. Balmaro gets it into the half court. Reaching foul on the floor. Montero is going to get charged with a personal. Lepo Vitola trying to attack the middle. Pizzione's trying to make the case that he was on his way up to shoot the ball. Mendoza checks back in. Delfino with a three off the out of bounds, doesn't get it to go. Again, the Dominican Republic, Mr. Garcia looks like he's decided to slow it down a little. Try and take some pace out of this game. 10 seconds on the possession. Delgado will dive. They'll chase in that double team. Down to 4. Got to step back, make a tough one. It's short. Guerrero couldn't get it to go. Same problem, though. It's all very well slowing it down, but if you end up with a tough one. Great rotation defensively. Numbers down the floor here. Ball's knocked away. Quick hands. Lepo Vitola looks long. Would have been an easy two. Almaro couldn't reel it in. Esther Garcia already. Jacket off. Shirt sleeves rolled up. Getting down to work. Velez again will walk it over the halfway line. Only a 5-point game. Dominican Republic really are trying to take some pace out of this. Nice curl on the screen, and one. Gerardo Suero gets the curl, gets to the ring, gets the two. Suero, great read. Super read, had the defense chasing. Chance to make this a 2-point game, and doesn't get it to go. Defensive rebound is a positive stat. Golino out top will hand it off. Lepo Vitola looks inside, but will get the ball screen. Stops, pops the three, is off. Defensive rebound belongs to Mendoza. He'll push it. Great rotation defensively. Argentina have numbers the other way. Balmaro will have to go to the free throw line to earn him. They've really got, they cannot come up empty in transition because they're going to run the other way at them. And there you can see Nesta Garcia go, hey, if you're not going to make it, we don't need to take that. If we're not, unless you're wide open, unless you've got the clean lane to the hoop, let's take some time with the basketball. Because yeah, if you work the maths out, they had the 3-on-2 or the 4-on-3 situation turn the ball over and going the other way. It's an easy early option for Argentina going the other way. Dalmaro, a little bit, well, long on the free throw. Makes the second. He'll sit. Campazzo checks back in. The staggered screens. Ball finds its way to Suero. Gets deep, Delgado needs a pass, finds one. They're going to call that offensive. Guerrero's not going to be happy because Campazzo looked to go forward to draw that contact. Yeah, it's a great stand by Campazzo. Argentina with the basketball and the lead. But the game, the pace of the game has just dropped. Provitola dealing with contact. Nice reversal. Deck went to the middle hard and was not going to be denied. Got to keep him out of the middle. Super penetration. Goes to 10 points in a hurry. Liz off the penetration, looks to hold. Now he needs a pass. Delgado in the keyway. Wills and deals, doesn't get the drop, wants the foul. Doesn't get it. Deck, he's on a mission at the moment. Goes strong to the lane, has it knocked away, saved. The ball will stay with Argentina. Provitola off the inbound, opens up on the baseline, is fouled. Will go to the free throw line. Played 2 games in the qualifiers. Nicolas Provitola averaged 16.5 points, played 30 minutes, or averaged 30 minutes in those 2 games. Argentina always forcing the extra cut, always forcing the extra move with a denial on defense. Little back cut in the lane. The open 3 for Felix, just fills it up. Great pass, gets his feet set, knocks it down. But it's all a little slow. But that's what Garcia wants. Provitola is blocked, stays with the play. Provitola at the point. Campazzo is down the wing. Got an offensive foul called. And when the Dominican Republic get Argentina in a slow-down game, this is going to be tough. Delia picks up the personal. Dominican Republic have a chance to cut into the 5-point lead, and they really have slowed the whole tempo of the game down after that 6-7-0 run in the first quarter. Liz. Soft on the penetration, steps back for the 3, is short. Delgado's on the glass. It's going to draw the contact. Team fouls both teams, so Angel Delgado will go to the free throw line. Juan Suero checks in. Guerrero sits down. 4:27 to go in the second. And it's done two things. This Dominican Republic slowing the tempo. It's kept the crowd out of the game a little bit. So that becomes an uneasy crowd, which is not going to help Argentina at all. Feeling the tension. Three-point game. Campazzo drops it inside to Gabriel Deck. Looking to get to the middle. Ball's knocked away. Much better defensive effort to protect the middle. Three in transition. Great job on the glass. Suero gives it up. And they just miss a bunny and it goes out of bounds. Multiple options. Patricio Ronillo in the game. Rule in the ACB this season. The referee doesn't have to touch the ball in the backcourt, hence why he threw it straight in. Somehow Campazzo gets it to go. A little bit of a magician on that one. And that's what they're going to like Garcia. If you run one way, it's going to be run straight back at you for the easy two. And Delia loves it. The crowd love it. The tempo gets back in the game, and Argentina look twice the team. And Néstor Garcia's already at midcourt, and you can see the reaction for the coach. Why are we taking the early three when we're not really set, when we're not really got the good option? 7-point margin in the blink of an eye. You've got to be so disciplined, and Garcia knows it. He takes the time out, and you know what he's going to say right now. Let's take a listen. Well, the missed putback when it was literally a bit of bunny, as we get a replay of the play by Campazzo, where somehow he manufactures a shot and gets an angle, a little bit of spin on the basketball. Doesn't matter which angle he uses, it looks good. But the missed putback on the offensive rebound and then the early three, it's all it takes. And Campazzo picks the pocket, gets the ball again. Almost completely nullifies any effect of the timeout. Facundo Campazzo, just a different level at the moment. Great find. Deck's on the glass, cleared up the mess by Félix and the Dominican Republic into the half court. That's the two staggered screens to get the ball in. Ball's knocked away. Way to stay with the play, though. Suero stayed with it, gets the two. It's not always the great play. The hustle plays is big time. Gabriel Deck is fouled on the penetration. He'll go to the free throw line. Both teams in the penalty. It's going to take a remarkably disciplined performance by Dominican Republic here. If Néstor Garcia has decided that's the way they're going to win, and it looks like he's got it absolutely right. They're going to look to run in transition if they've got something to the ring. If not, they've just got to stay with the game plan. Spend time with the basketball, move the defense around, finish plays. 7-point game. It's at that margin again where if they let it get to double digits, it becomes a really difficult game to manage. Suero puts it on the floor, gets to the inside, in the lane, is blocked from behind. Campazzo again has numbers. A little bit of football on it, so they will stay with the ball. If Facundo Campazzo is around the basketball, gets a block, and then he's gone. And always looking to facilitate. Campazzo. Brasino with a catch and release is no good. Good job on the glass by the Dominican Republic as a team. Solano gets it into the half court. Nice move to the middle is good. Victor Liz. And again, the action gave him a little advantage, and then he worked that advantage and gets to a high percentage shot. Campazzo thinks about the three, turns it down. Deck with the ball screen. Gets the mismatch in the post. Will go to the free throw line. And Gelvis Solano picks up the personal. Solano's just got to trust his team. You know, if he pushes him to the baseline, he'll get help. Keep him off the middle if he catches. Chance to make this a 7-point game. And Deck Judy obliges. 14 points in the first half. Well worth the air miles at the moment for Gabriel Deck. Delgado asks him to put it on the floor, kicks it. Liz to the middle. Stops and pops, doesn't get the roll. Great work on the glass by Victor Liz, just couldn't control the basketball. .120 to go in the half, and Argentina on the verge of breaking it open, but being made to work for every possession. But at the moment, Campazzo and Deck are just the difference. Off the ball screen, has a look at his options, will come back. Deck slips, will come back and get a different angle on the ball screen, picks and pops. Campazzo, oh my word. Little two-man game to perfection. Gonna get the foul away from the basketball. Watch this, there's the ball screen. That's not enough. He's gonna get to the middle and then just drops it into Deck. He just sliced through the help. Watch the line of Deck as he gets in there. Just slid in front of the help and then just finished the play. Every single young Argentinian in the crowd would love to do that. What a hero for his country. Campazzo getting it done.
Intentemos tirar sobre los 32, 33 segundos. ¿Sí? No tiene que ser exacto, pero por ahí. Así nos queda la última a nosotros. ¿Sí? Vamos a jugar un cuerno. Lo que te estoy diciendo es cuerno. Vale. Talla, Tortu, ¿sí? Tortu. Lo que digo es que lo juegues para Tortu, que Tortu caiga profundo. La primera, entonces. Ese pase ahí. Entra. ¿Sí?
Pero fíjate que al revés, lo que del otro lado. Capaz que ni te bloqueo. Ojo que de ahí cuando vení y de frente.
Talla sube No, vamos a hacer una cosa. Talla, cuando él va, vos sacás a Brusi. Entonces, si no tenés el pase profundo ahí, sacátelo de encima con un tac, despegátelo, cosa que cuando va el de Tortu, hace un paso y lo encontrás profundo. Si no está el pase, sale Tortu. Sale Brusi.
Rusino will inbound the basketball. Campazzo goes long. He's going to have to go back for that. Last minute of this first half. Chance to make this a double-digit margin. Dominican Republic desperate for the stop and a score to get into the half under 10. Campazzo backs out. And put that one down in the stat book somewhere. Campazzo turns it over. Dominican Republic have that opportunity. Get the score here. Keep it under in single digits going into the half. Stay in contact. Inbound. Delgado's the man releasing the pressure. Penetration for the two is good. Montero sliced on through the drive lane, gets the two, cuts it back to a 7-point game. Now they need to stop and get into the locker room under 10 and feel as though you're really in the game. Campazzo and Deck look like they're going to play a little two-man basketball. Campazzo steps back for the three. Doesn't get it to go. Delgado cleans up the mess, and that'll do it. So after a really bright start, the Dominican Republic trail by 7, 42-35. Argentina looking good in transition. Dominican Republic just simply have to control the tempo. So much respect for Garcia in the gym. Well, here we go then. Start of this second half. 20 minutes away from deciding who makes the trip to the biggest basketball event in the world calendar. The World Cup in September is where both these teams want to be. Pick and roll action, no. Think doing Delgado. Got to shoot that. Penetration for two is good. Great work against the closeout. Mendoza ticks it over for the Dominican Republic. You're going to try and work Campazzo out, but he won't back down from that confrontation. Deck takes it hard and quick. Doesn't get the drop. This is definitely Dominican Republic tempo. We're going to have to play it this way for the whole of this second half. Liz gets inside, steps through. You're going to call a travel on it. Didn't look like a travel. Let's have a look. There's that pivot foot. Professor gets it to Campazzo. Liz picks up his first personal. Provatola drew the contact. It's one of those moments in the game where the gym goes quiet and you feel as though that helps the Dominican Republic. That Provatola gets his feet set, goes inside with a pass, has it knocked away. 9 seconds on the possession. Campazzo. Provatola with a long three is good. Oh, sweet as you like. 8 points personal for the Barcelona point guard. That's going to be a reach. Fellas drew the contact. That's the third foul on Naprovitola. That's one way to limit Coach Prigione's options. Deck just hunted it. Throw that one down off the runway. And Deck turns the steal into points and asks the crowd to get going. He knows the energy from the crowd is important. 10-point game, and they haven't had to work for that 10-point game. Just sloppy. Off the glass for two is no good. Chance to run. Here goes Argentina again. Have numbers. 4-on-2 break. Brusino for three is no good. Deck's on the glass. Doesn't come up with it. Liz has a chance to run the other way. Now they've got to be smart, the Dominican Republic. And Felix pulls it out. Delgado will take it over. Mendoza turns the corner, drops it to the baseline. Delgado for two is fouled. D'Elia picks up the personal. And there's the sloppy turnover, and Deck just makes them pay for it. And that turned a late shot clock situation for Argentina into a 5-0 run. The 3 and the 2. And Delgado hits nothing on the free throw. Did that earlier in the game. It's just like every now and again seems to throw one in. Makes the second. Campazzo gets the repositioned ball screen, drops it out the back of the hand. Naprovitola for the three, gets a piece of it, but they get the rebound, their own ball back. Campazzo drops it off to Naprovitola. Another turnover. Now they have numbers. Can't come up empty, but they do, and Campazzo just makes it happen for Argentina. Gabriel Deck to the hoop, gets after it himself, turned the transition empty. Is going to be a blocking foul mid-court. Campazzo acknowledges the foul. And the issue is there. Every time they had numbers that time. 4-on-2 break. And they came up empty. Going the other way, even though Deck missed the breakaway layup. That's the tempo Argentina want to play the game at. So they'll take that. 6:54 to go in the third. Victor Liz has the basketball. Vargas wants a touch on the inside. Tries to go to work, gets to the middle, little fadeaway. Doesn't get it to go. Delgado holds his space and fights for the offensive rebound. Can't get the putback to go. And Brusino comes down with a defensive rebound. Again, Argentina want to run. Naprovitola, Brusino wide open for three. Count it. Transition basketball again for Argentina. And there's the 12-point lead. And Coach Nestor Garcia says, hey, got to talk this one over. Timeout. Dominican Republic.
No hay triple. Brusino, no hay triple, Brusino. No hay triple en la provincia. Vamos a subir, vamos a subir. Jueguen 2 contra 2.
They've just got to do a better job at matching up in transition. Coach talked about Brusino not really putting the ball on the floor, wants to shoot the jump shot, but you've got to match up on him first. And they just let him have so much time and space. 12-point margin for Argentina, leads it 50-38. They've had opportunities, Dominican Republic, and just haven't been able to finish plays. Big possession now. Got to use the timeout. Get a shot they want on this possession. Start building it back into the game. They open up the three, is no good. Vargas on the glass, keeps it alive. Great work by the big man. It will stay with the Dominican Republic. Elo Vargas gets a piece of it. 14-second reset, 6:04 to go in the quarter. Vargas will find Solano. Elvis Solano puts it on the floor. Drops it inside. Nice pass. And Liz just blows it. The third time they've got into that situation. Deck for two. He's not missing any. There's your issue. A missed two-footer at one end, turned into transition basketball the other end. 14-point game. It's getting out of hand here for the Dominican Republic. Vargas, they're going to overplay one pass away. Gets it off. Montero. Delgado on the elbow for two. Can't get that to go. The last 4 possessions, they've had shots you'd expect them to make. Campazzo in the lane, needs a pass. Deck's there. Why do I even say needs a pass? He'll always have a pass. 22 points for Gabriel Deck. And the Deck Campazzo show carries on. Vargas just about hangs on to it. Brusino reaches. And Campazzo here goes in. And his partner in crime appears for the easy handoff. They make it look easy. Playing the game with a smile. Argentina always a joy. Elvis Solano. They need a score. They need points on this trip. 4:40 to go in the third. Whistle on the play. Gerardo Suero draws the contact, which will frustrate Deck. 4.8 seconds on the possession. Argentina in the penalty, so they're going to give the Dominican Republic an opportunity to break this scoring drought from the free throw line. Two from two, exactly what they needed. A stop and a score, and everything will seem a little better. Facundo Campazzo. Oh, Marco. Deck in the block. Sino catch and release is long with a three. And Nesta Garcia is beside himself. Delgado just thinks he boxed out. Yeah, Hizzy was good, and he came off the bench in the first half. Really did spell D'Elia with some quality time. And I think We've ended up with a technical foul. Just trying to check if it was on the bench or if it was on Delgado. It was on Angel Delgado. 15-point game. Need to stop. Desperately need to stop and score. Campazzo. Deck just picked and popped and just didn't even have to move. Knew Campazzo would find him. Dominican Republic dodged that bullet. Mendoza needs a pass. Montero way off. Great rotation defensively. They're going to come up with that tremendous work, and there's a Mendoza is really beside himself with that. How is he not going to get the possession? Let's take a look. Great work to get the deflection. Keeps it alive. He did knock it out of bounds. Mendoza definitely knocked it out of bounds. Is he claiming he was fouled, though? It's going to come off him last. There you go. Referee's right on it. If there's no foul, it's definitely an Argentinian ball. But it looked like the official called the foul from the other side of the floor. Yes, he did. Mendoza was on the free throw line. Barraro picks up the personal. That's where the teamwork for the officials is so important. Needs both. They need both every time. They need stops just to get it back to single digits before the start of the fourth quarter. Then they'll feel they're back in the game. This will make it a 13-point game if he makes the second, which he does. Plenty of time left in the third. Facundo Campazzo into the half court. Marco on the perimeter. Nice pass. Deck. I'm running out of superlatives. Gabriel Deck is just having a different level game to everybody else on the floor. Just phenomenal. Moves so well without the basketball. Ball's knocked away. It's going to go with Argentina, though. Suero trying to have to create himself. The corner three is no good. Campazzo looks like he needs some minutes on the bench. Another missed two in transition. Marco goes the other way off the glass for two. Great follow. I don't have to tell you who's followed. Gabriel Deck is everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. 24 points personal, 9 from 12 from the floor. Argentina off to the races. And here he comes. He's moving when everyone else is looking at the shot. Dominican Republic just have to hang around. Back to the free throw line. It's their only friend at the moment. Argentina being in the penalty is allowing the Dominican Republic to keep ticking it over. Two from two again. Campazzo, ball doesn't stick, hits the second side, everyone's on the move. In the lane, for two is good. Romero gets his feet set. Flash cut, just the Dominican Republic just can't defend it at the moment. Nice pass to the inside for 2. And Helvis Solano gets the scoreboard ticking again for the Dominican Republic. They're just hanging in here. Need stops though. The zone works on that occasion. Montero pulls up for 3, gets it to go. Just need a little run here going into the end of the 3rd. And Pazzo. Comes out of the corner. And another turnover, back-to-back turnovers. 3-on-1 break. Just have to pick the right decision. They blow the layup. Another missed opportunity in transition. Marco comes down the floor. Campazzo will reverse it. Deck moves it on. Wide open in the corner for 3 is no good. Hurley. Moreno can't get it to go. Carter in the lane is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Everyone stood still though for the Dominican Republic. Chance to make it a 10-point game though. And a few seconds ago, the Dominican Republic would have gladly taken 10 at the end of the quarter. Leprovitola checks back in. That's a hell of a combination in the backcourt. Delgado misses the free throw. Leprovitola with Campazzo and Deck. Comparable with arguably any lineup on any team that's going to be at the World Cup. Delgado makes the second, cuts it to an 11-point game. This is not done by any means. The Dominican Republic hanging in. Leprovitola has it knocked away. Yet another steal. Just got to get the points though, and they do. Gets it to 9. And the zone is giving the guard a little bit more freedom to get after the basketball. Still got fouls to give. Campazzo. 7 on the clock. Has it knocked away again. All the way to the hoop for 2. And out of nowhere, it's a 7-point game. The Dominican Republic. Great pass. And 1. Rolino gets the 2 off the Campazzo assist. On the, was it a Leprovitola assist? Yes, it was. Completes the 3-point play. Undoes some of that work, but it's a 10-point game. Dominican Republic still in this at the end of 3. Argentina lead it by 10, 64-54. Let's get a look at the numbers. .67 and 25%, still struggling from the 3-point line. If they're going to make inroads to get late into that World Cup tournament, they're going to have to improve that. Best plays in the 3rd quarter, though. There's some highlights here. Provitola, this was the start of the run that broke it open into a double-digit lead, because then Deck came up with a steal. The 5-0 run took them over 10. Brasina in transition wide open. As soon as they did not match up, Argentina got what they needed. But it's Gabriel Deck's game at the moment. just really putting in a performance here. 24 points personal. But the Dominican Republic hung around, dug in, and then got it to 7 before the three-point play at the end of the third quarter. So that little run gets them right back in it. 10-point game at the end of 3. This is not done by any stretch of the imagination. Start of the fourth. The other games are so close. There's no real point at the moment of saying what will happen. Great penetration off the glass is no good. Offensive rebound. There's a held ball. Would have been a travel, I think, if they hadn't called the held ball. Just about retained possession to the corner, wide open for 3 is good. Back to 7. Nice stroke by Pena. First points of the game. Answered straight away by La Provitola. They can't trade and they can't turn it over. So many occasions they have hurt themselves. Dominican Republic take the timeout early in this. And that's the frustration that Garcia will have. Straight after the end of the quarter break, they turn it over and they leave an open 3 and they turn it over. The two of the things he would have definitely mentioned in that in the end of the break.
It's no shit different. It's no pressing La Provitola. Shoot it. You got it. Hey, tengo 3 gares. 3 gares. ¿A dónde está Gerardo? ¿Para qué te acabas? ¿A dónde está Gerardo? 3 gares, la tiene que subir Gerardo. 3 gares. 3 fucking point gares. La tiene que subir Gerardo.
Well, there's the throw of the dice. There's the emotional timeout. This is what he's annoyed about. Provitola is a shooter. You've heard him say it clearly. Can't stand there letting him look at the hoop because he's going to do that. At least challenge the shot. At least have your hands up and then make him put it on the floor. Foul on the steal, but again, I don't think it's one of those things. Got to try and make things happen defensively. Solano's a little bit unhappy about it, but let's take a look. That's a foul, clearly. Solano still wants to talk about it, but Elvis Solano picks up the personal. Nine-point game. Turnover, much better defensively that time. Mendoza leads the floor for Dominican Republic. Every possession, they have to get a good shot. It still might not be enough, but they've got to give themselves a chance. Finish with a penetration, nice pass. Great block, great rotation. Raulino gets the block. Apravitola goes to the inside with a pass. Turnover the other way. Single possession at a time. Penetration, the open three turned down. They move it on. Whistle on the play. Gerardo Solado. Coach Garcia earning his corn this time. Really putting in work, really going to work on the bench. Gotta love the way he's trying to carry and prod and lead this team to get them back in the game. Free throw is good. Here's the penetration and the foul, clear. Back to a 7-point game. Get it to 5, and then Argentina will get a little nervy. But Deck and Campazzo are in the game, so don't have to get that nervy. Campazzo will come back to the ball here. Gets it 10 on the possession. Deck wants it in the post, gets it. Gabriel Deck going to work here. Foul on the play. Dominican Republic do not want to get into the penalty too early here. Deck goes to work again. Fouled again. This time he'll go to the free throw line. Suero picks up the personal. First miss from the free throw line for Deck. .43 to remains. 8-point game. Dominican Republic doing everything they can here to hang in. Delgado outside, moves it on. Felix gets it off to Mendoza. Tries to penetrate. The three is way off. Pena couldn't get it to go. Great recovery though. Whistle on the play. This will be an interesting one. There's a lot of bodies around the basketball. Ball's knocked away. Just runs into Campazzo after. Marino's charged with a personal. Great effort to get back in the play. Pena, after missing the shot, didn't stop playing, didn't worry about the outcome of that. Got back, played the next possession. Pena outside. That's going to be a pushing foul off the basketball. Pena picks up the personal. Prigioni leaves him in. Interesting time in the game here. 8-point game. Pena will hand it off. Felix, 9 on the possession. Gets into the lane, stops, pops, gets it to drop on that one. 6-point game. Interesting time here. Crowd feeling it too. You can hear the arena go quiet. Campazzo has been away from the ball for a bit. Deck. 9 on the possession. Gabriel Deck going to work in the post. Delia with a little feed. Just separated from Delgado, enough time to get it away. Smart. Deck with the assist. 8 points personal for Marcos Delia. Delgado in the block, backs it in. Goes to the baseline side. Doesn't get it to drop. Delia just did a nice job defensively. Campazzo has it. He'll take the ball screen. Looks to step back for the three. Is no good. And the Dominican Republic just about hang on. Victor Liz will take the ball screen. Delgado will dive. Liz penetrates, kicks the extra pass to the corner. Ball gets stuck. 7 on the possession. Mendoza for 2 and 1. Tough move. Crosses over. DeLeo's a little late, gets the contact. And he will go to the free throw line. Marino sits. Brusino checks back in. Chance to make this a 5-point game. Still 5.5 to go. Delia steps out. Campazzo on the baseline. Nowhere to go, needs a pass, puts up the 3, can't get it to go. Great work on the glass. Liz backs it out, takes a look at the options. Delgado will ball screen, turns it down, gets to the far side of the ring. In traffic, doesn't get the layup to drop. That'll be an arch. They're going to get that back to the Dominican Republic. The tension in the arena has just gone through the roof here. Not the noise, the tension. Montero, 10 on the possession. Montero goes baseline, off the glass, is fouled, will go to the free throw line. Poor foul, poor decision. Argentina led this by 17. And to say the least, he felt like they were in control. Rigoberto Mendoza going to the free throw line to make this a 3-point single possession game. Timeout Argentina. That tells you where Pablo Prigione's mind is at the moment. Argentina in the penalty as well. Game on the line. 17 points, cruising. Could be a 3-point game with 4:40 to go. And his team are in the penalty. Nestor Garcia has dragged and led Dominican Republic right back into this game. Let's take a listen to Prigioni.
Se va rápido, Pato, si tenés penetración bien. Si no tenés penetración, viene Gaby, cae Gaby, sube Brusi. ¿Sí? ¿Lo tenemos? Bueno, bajo. Jueguenlo con paciencia. Cualquier problema, ángulo abierto, voy Gaby. ¿Sí?
Yon Montero on the free throw line. Provitola still not back in the game for Argentina. We got a 3-point game. Dominican Republic fighting for their World Cup life. Right back in this. That's a soft foul by Liz to put Dominican Republic into the penalty as well. It's one of those moments in games or situations in games where you think, well, Campazzo's going to make all the right decisions. They've got all the reputations. The Dominican Republic at the minute have got momentum. That's a pass. Deck can't get it to drop. Great work on the boards. Campazzo will set it down again. Comes off the ball screen, gets inside, gets some contact, doesn't get the drop, and the Dominican Republic had the ball and ripped it. Nesta Garcia's on the walk. Jump ball called. Ball goes back to Argentina. That'll be a 14-second reset. There's the missed shot. Great defensive effort not to foul. And you've got to say, that is tremendous work by Galizzi to get the jump ball. Argentina on the end line. Crowd trying all they can to break the tension. But you can feel it. Rusino, where the ball needs to be. Ricardo Campazzo. Wide open foul line jump shot is short, and Delgado just owns the glass. What was simple is now very difficult. Montero stops and pops, doesn't get the roll. Argentina walk it into the half court. Still think anything they can play up tempo. Campazzo drops it off. Everyone's out of control, and Delgado gets another rebound and the foul. And Delgado will walk the floor to make this a 1-point game with 3:26 to go. Delgado struggling. Does he have to come out? Make sure they put the best free throw shooter they have on the bench back in the game. $17-point lead down to 3, potentially down to 1. Delgado from the free throw line so far tonight. It's 5 for 9. 2 of the misses have been air balls. He's around just over a 60% free throw shooter. They're going to have to take him out, I think. Oh, he's looking at his hand. He's walking towards the line. I think Garcia wanted to take him out. But he's on the free throw line. Delgado. Well, it's his right hand. Misses the first. And there's the air ball. And Garcia turns. And you can see his reaction. Heart on sleeve time for Nesta Garcia. Still a 3-point game, 3:21 to go. Campazzo drops it into Deck, trying to back in the post. Gabriel Deck to the baseline, has it knocked away. Delgado comes to help. Montero. Delgado just about hangs on. Mendoza. It's going to be an offensive foul. Delgado's got to be careful here, doesn't need the tech. And you've got to say, the officials have been 100% consistent. Whether we think it's a foul or not, they've called it this way all game. And there's not a lot of contact, but he is walking through him. There's not a lot of contact at all, but is there enough? Does it matter? It's a foul. 2:54 to go. Campazzo, there's bodies everywhere. Leprovitola back in. Montero picks up his third foul. Campazzo finds himself on the free throw line. Two for two from the line. Substitutions off the Dominican Republic bench. Files steps back into the game. Vargas checks back in. And Delgado sits. Who knows how bad that hand is? Who knows if he should have stepped out? That's in the past right now. 5-point game. Penetration to the baseline. Kicks for the three. Got it! Montero strokes it for three. We're back to two. Campazzo will come off the ball screen. Great job defensively to slip through. Moves it on. Gabriel Deck, it's all a little slow. Settles for the three, is off. And Vargas just about gets control of it. The Dominican Republic could lead on this possession. They go upstairs to Vargas for the throwdown. We've got a new ball game at 71 apiece with 2 minutes remaining. Eloy Vargas went upstairs and threw it down. Timeout, Argentina. Whatever Prigioni calls, they've got to try and go and win the game, as opposed to try not to lose it. Huge play. Eloy Vargas off the bench. Just throws it down. Let's listen to Prigioni's timeout.
Gaby, si no se la podés dar, lo tocas al Apro. Si no se la podés dar, Facu, te vas, te la quedás y te vas, Gaby. ¿Sí? ¡Ey! ¡Ey! ¡2 minutos! ¡Vamos, chicos!
71, 2:01 to go. We have a 2-minute shootout for a place in the World Cup. Campazzo will advance the basketball. Proviso drops it inside. Deck with a turnaround off the glass for two. kisses the window. Where else would you go? 27 points personal for Gabriel Deck. Felix has it. Needs a pass, finds a pass. 9 on the possession. Turnaround for 2 is good. Montero, after making the 3, makes the 2. Ties it again at 73. Facundo Campazzo. Deck looks at the referee. He's got to play through it. Vitola comes off the screen. A little hesitation. Gets inside. Turnover. Breakaway, easy. 2 is nice. They're going to count that. They do count that. The Dominican Republic, with 57 seconds remaining, lead it by 2. And surely Campazzo's going to have to go and create. They're going to take a look at it. They should. And Argentina have challenged the call. Let's take a look. Ball's up. It's off the glass. So it's hit the backboard. But then did it hit the ring first? Does it hit the ring? Yes, it does. Brusino. Does he play this before it hits the ring? Yes, he does. It looks like it should be a goaltend. Who'd be a referee? Would have been very quick, so they're very clear. They're very sure. Huge call. There's going to be some emotion if they wipe this off. Oh, they're going to go back and look at it again. Off the backboard. Contact before the ring. The reaction of every player on the floor in a blue uniform is like, oh, it's a goaltend. I'm not sure it had hit the ring before he blocked it. Knocked it off the ring. It's not like it hit the ring and he knocked it off the ring. Now we have 3 officials involved in the review. I thought they were a bit quick. I'm seeing it as interference, but I'm not looking at it over and over again in front of 8,000 people. So it's a goaltend. Argentina 2 down, 57 seconds remain. Dominican Republic up the floor a little bit just to delay it. Facundo Campazzo with the basketball, gets it off the deck. Campazzo gets it back. They're going to go Deck in the post. They're going to call that as a foul which will send Vitola to the free throw line. Vitola. One of the best percentage free throw shooters in the ACB. Misses the first. Pressure. Even more pressure right now. Goes 0 for 2. And the oxygen is just being sucked out of this gym. Huge possession for the Dominican Republic. Where do they go for it? Goes inside, Vargas down the middle, is open for 2, what a play! Argentina have just imploded. Ilor Vargas wide open for 2. It's a 4-point game with 31.3 seconds to go, and that's an eternity. It's a 2-possession game. Argentina with a timeout, and they're looking at World Cup exit right now. 40 bench points for the Dominican Republic. Phenomenal stat. Where's Prigioni going to go?
Escucha. Lapro, pasa por arriba. Marcos, tenés que agarrarla ahí. Sí, agarrala. Sí. Venís a buscarlo a Facu. Facu, te vas en el mismo momento, Gaby, estás ahí al Lapro. Y Gaby, haces un corto. Marcos, tenés ahí uno rápido.
Unopposed, down the lane. Vargas gets the 2 that makes this a 2-possession game. Argentina will take the basketball in the front court with a 14-second reset. Simply have to score. Vargas, I'm sure, sorry, Néstor Garcia, I'm sure will just trust his defense right now. They're going to call the foul. Liz gets charged with a personal. And Marcos Delia will go to the free throw line. Argentina will get the basketball back. It's too quick a foul. Delia makes the first. Silver medalists from the last World Cup. Looking down the barrel of defeat here, and that will be World Cup exit. Cuts it to a 2-point game. Garcia trusts his team to get it in and advance the ball. Vargas has got to get it over. That's the first thing they have to do, and they do. The layup's there, and there's the 2. Montero just drops the 2. Back to a 4-point game. Campazzo takes the 3, is no good. Delia keeps it alive. It's no good. The Dominican Republic are going to get the win here in Mar del Plata. They win this one 79-75. They are going to the World Cup. So much class by Néstor Garcia. Confirmation, Dominican Republic get the 79-75 result. That's unbelievable. Argentina eliminated at the qualification stage in the World Cup. And no wonder they put him shoulder high, because he carried them back from 17 down. Shocked and stunned disbelief in the arena. We're going to get a chance to look at the best plays at that second half, but just take this in. The Dominican Republic have come to Argentina, dug themselves a 17-point hole, and dragged themselves out of it, and gets the win that takes them to the World Cup and eliminates Argentina, not only the silver medalists, the current America Cup champions, will not be going to the World Cup. And the Dominican Republic are going to savor the moment. But the Mar del Plata Arena here as the energy sucked out of it. Argentina are eliminated. They will be sitting out the World Cup final stages. The Dominican Republic have just come up with one of the shocks in World Cup basketball. Montero down the end of the game was just phenomenal. Ended up with 22 points and an efficiency rating of 21. And Vargas and Montero in that fourth quarter, in the last part of that fourth quarter, just managed to get the Dominican Republic over the line. That's unbelievable. That's an amazing performance. The timeout that Nestor Garcia took, where in the end he went through the technical stuff and then he just challenged his team as men. And the response he got was phenomenal. The experience that he has was crucial, and we'll get a chance to look at the best plays of the second half. Beginning of the second half, everything was under control. That Profitola, see that three and the breakaway just opened it out to a double-digit lead, and they see the celebration was already beginning to start. Brasino followed it in with a three, and the lead was up to 17 points. And Argentinian transition basketball was just complete control. Everything was in rhythm, everything was loose. And Gabriel Deck was carrying his country to the World Cup. All Argentina. But then Garcia somehow convinced his team that they still had a chance. Multiple steals. And Montero on his way to 22 points. And once it became tight, once it became close, and that was the shot that caused the timeout, where Garcia just challenged his team as men, and they responded. Then it became a half-court game. Then it became a possession by possession. And the advantage Argentina have in transition was gone. Montero from the three-point line And Vargas around the ring just gave the Dominican Republic all the impetus they needed. When Deck made this little jumper off the glass to restore the lead, you thought they're in control again. They have enough, but they did not count on this guy. Nesta Garcia and the Dominican Republic are going to the World Cup. You're going to see it in confirmation right now. Still one slot left. But that should belong to Mexico. No room in the World Cup for Argentina. One spot remains in Europe. That'll be decided tomorrow. But Mar del Plata has seen an absolutely phenomenal performance by the Dominican Republic. Unbelievable fourth quarter. We're going to say goodbye now from Mar del Plata. I know you've enjoyed that one. Good night.
Dios es demasiado grande, con la ayuda de Dios.